Hey everyone, it's 1:07 p.m. Friday, the 27th. So yeah, the market. I mean, it's hanging out in this level, and it could push up to its gap by the end of the day. I don't think that means anything. I honestly don't. It would just be part of this move down, having a correction, and I do think we're going to have further down next week. And one of the reasons why I'll just there's a few reasons, but um, here's Apple, okay? Obvious resistance. Obvious. Yesterday, they got above it slightly. Apple was positive. In fact, this piqued my interest because it was mentioned on a financial news, some one of the channels, that, oh, Apple's positive today. And they sort of, oh, well, Apple, it's a safe haven sometimes. Okay, so I looked at the chart and I noticed that, oh, it just had a pop above resistance. And that is, in my opinion, a false breakout. And I love trading false breakouts. We had one on SPX not too long ago. It's right here, right here, right? This was the resistance. I'll make it obvious. That was resistance. They got up to it. False breakout, right? That was the short. They tried again, same area. That was the short. So Apple, I mean, they might come up here again, but as long as they don't get over this high, the risk reward to the downside to me is very good. I think this could come down to 230s, maybe 225 as an ultimate target if the market sells off hard. And I still think that is likely. I started following Randy Finney again. Randy is a very good bear market trader, and I followed him a few years ago. And he's in bear markets. He's really top. I mean, he's really really good. Bull markets, he can be a little hit or miss. But with bear markets, it's his bread and butter is trading bear markets. And he mentioned in one of the videos that um, he said that we have to start paying attention to when the president starts saying things or tweeting things, and the market stops reacting in the same way. You start seeing more and more muted reactions. So this was the president pausing, or I don't know what it was. He was pausing something, right? He was pausing strikes on Iran or whatever, right? It got faded, right? And here was the false breakout right here. This is where we shorted, or where I shorted it, right? And since then, we've been in this channel, which has broken down, right? Here's the announcement from last night. Notice how much smaller this is and how much quicker they sold into it. So Randy said, look, this is the, boy who cries wolf syndrome. After a while, the market isn't going to pay attention to these announcements, not as much. And you might get a little rip up maybe at the end of the day from an announcement by the president. But the more he does that, the more he tries to manipulate the market, the more the market realizes it's being played. It's he's trying to prop it up. That's what's happening. So no surprise that, right after, when it's thinner trading, right after the close yesterday, when it's thinner trading, he tried to pump this up, just like he tried to pump up the market right before open on Monday, right? Because this is thinner trading, it's easier to push the market up, and probably he thought that, well, during the day they'll buy it and they'll run with it, but that's not happening, and that didn't happen overnight, right? I mean, I went long and I was like, oh, good, he did something, and maybe it's gonna have legs in the overnight. Well, it didn't. It just pumped up right to the channel, and then again to the channel here, and since then it's been resistance, and now it's under the channel. That's bearish, right? So this is one of the reasons, another reason why I think the market is going to drop, because the manipulation, the tactics to try to keep things positive, I don't think it's being believed anymore, or at least it's being believed by less and less and less people who are in this market. QQQ, I had a target on QQQ, which was around 575, and that was a decent trade for me. But I got out too early. We got down to 575 area. I got out too early because look, we broke the support. This was supposed to be a support level and a gap fill here. Support. It's not working. I mentioned QQQ. It's come down and it's had this huge consolidation, and I thought it should come down. I was in one of the videos. I said 577 would be fine. That area would be fine. But I guess after all this consolidation, it's going to come down more. There is a gap open at the 1.618 right here at 530, and I think we're going to get there. I do. It's another reason why I think Apple is probably a good short, because I think Apple's going to help push this thing down hard because it has been holding it up, right? And when we look at the SPY QQQ ratio, another thing I really like to watch, this is something I mentioned that we came down and the RSI was very low, and I think we're going to push up again. We have pushed up. Now, this channel is still up here. We're not at the top of the channel yet. And my ultimate target is actually way up here at 116. So it's possible we break above this channel and get up to 116 before there's a pullback. And that means tech, this would mean if this is going up like this, that means tech is losing more to SPY. And I think that is the right call. I think this is what's happening here. I think this daily RSI has to get to the extremes, and I think this has to at least get to the channel, if not get to this target of 1.17 between SPY and QQQ. That's bearish for QQQ. And then we have the VIX. Oh, let's look at oil too. And I'll throw in gold because I know people are asking me about gold and Bitcoin. I'll throw it. I'll throw it all in. How about that today? All right, the VIX is hovering around this double top. It is resistance, but if they take this out, which I think they will, it's going higher. Then you only have this resistance before it can go much, much higher. I still think the VIX can go higher. Look at the daily RSI. It's not at extremes. It hasn't been at extremes in a very long time. And this extreme was up at 57, and I'm saying we could reach that top. That's possible to get the RSI on the VIX really extreme. Okay, and that could be quick. Let's look at oil. Oil keeps pushing. I mean, this doesn't look bearish. I'm going to take this resistance off because it just went right through it. This looks like a move down, A, B, C up. That's what it looks like. If this gets over 101, the previous resistance, I'll put a line there. That's going to be noticed by a lot of traders that this is now we're now getting accepted in an area where it was not accepted, right? The price is being accepted where here it wasn't accepted twice. It wasn't accepted above 100. If they get acceptance over 100, you're going up to these highs again. Probably that is going to happen over the weekend. I mean, I could be wrong, but this doesn't look bearish to me. And look at how low the RSI is on the daily. We should come up to these levels again. Gold. Gold, as of now, it's acting better than the market is. And look at the RSI on the daily here. Maybe it's a safety hedge here. You do have a trend line up here at 48.30. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I mean, this could be a 1, 2, 3 sideways, 4, 5 down. There's a major support at 3,900, basically 4,000. I don't know. This is a major support here too. If they lose this for some reason, if they lose 4,300, I think you got to expect it to get down to 3,900 area. And finally, the chart that really makes me feel that the market should move down is Bitcoin. I'm assuming because this is now tied into the financial system. So people thought it was a good idea. Okay, well, anyway, it's fine, But here's the thing: is you have this just textbook bear flag. Now, I'll be generous and say the bear flag starts from here and not here. Although I would think that most people would put it there, but I'll say from here, okay? If this plays out as a bear flag, Bitcoin could get down to 35,000. That's basically half. And the daily RSI is coming down, and we're starting to lose this bottom trend line here. It is really important for Bitcoin to hold 60,000 over the weekend. If it doesn't, it's going to be big news, because this is where everybody bought the dip thinking, this is where you buy it. So they bought it at 59,000, they bought it at 62, 63, 66, 68. So all these buyers have come in and bought this thing. If it breaks all this level, you're going to get a flush. Yeah, you're going to get a flush down. And what does 35 have? Does it have anything? 35. Well, it's basically around here. It's 38. Let's say here. I don't know. That looks pretty good to me, right? It was resistance, and then they found support there. So that seems to be an interesting level for Bitcoin. But could it get down to these previous highs here of 31? I don't know. Stranger things have happened, that's for sure. You just don't know. So that's the video. That's where we are at 1:18 p.m. What happens if everything reverses over the weekend? Yeah, then I'm wrong. It's as simple as that. It's a binary trade. I'm betting that the market's going to come down because of this evidence. Doesn't mean it's going to work. It doesn't mean it's going to work. And, but, we'll see. We'll see how it looks. This to me looks like it's going to accelerate soon. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great weekend. I'm going to be busy, so I'll do an update probably Monday morning. See what things are like. I mean, maybe I'll come back with my tail between my legs. I don't know, but right now I'm betting more downside, much more right now. Good luck.